5 mistakes that kill feminine magnetism in seconds. Have you ever noticed how some women have a presence you just can't explain? They don't need to raise their voice. They don't need flashy clothes or to try hard to get attention. They just have it. It's the kind of woman who, when she walks into a room, it feels like time slows down. People naturally lean in to hear what she has to say. And even when she's quiet, she speaks volumes. That's what I call true feminine magnetism. And here's what you might not realize yet. It has nothing to do with luck or genetics. It's about inner posture, self-awareness, and subtle attitudes. But here's the catch. A lot of women, without even noticing, do the complete opposite. They repeat little everyday habits that break the spell, that silently sabotage their own strength, presence, and energy. And that's exactly why in today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 most common mistakes that destroy feminine magnetism in seconds. Yes, seconds. The good news? You can stop making them today and start building a stronger, more captivating, more unforgettable version of yourself. If this kind of content speaks to you, if it inspires you to grow, to refine yourself inside and out, go ahead and like this video and share it with the woman you admire. Now, let's dive in together and uncover what might be dimming your light, so you can turn it back on with intention. Mistake number 1, over-explaining who you are. You know that urge to justify everything? To explain why you chose that outfit, why you didn't reply right away, why you changed your mind, why you acted in a way someone might not understand? Yeah, that habit, which seems harmless, is one of the biggest thieves of feminine magnetism. Magnetic women don't over-explain. They communicate clearly, but not out of neediness. They take a stand. They don't justify themselves. When you feel like you constantly have to prove that you're kind, that you meant no harm, that you're trustworthy, that you're a good person, you're sending a silent message. I don't feel enough. And no matter how amazing you are, when you don't feel enough, it leaks through your words. It shows in your tone, your energy, your subtext. And believe me, people always pick up on subtext. A magnetic woman has the emotional strength to leave blank spaces. She doesn't rush to convince anyone of who she is. She lets people feel it, notice it, discover it over time. That's not arrogance. That's self-worth. Because a woman who knows her value doesn't chase the approval of someone who hasn't recognized it yet. And here's the thing. When you over-explain, you give away more than you need to. You kill the mystery. You take away the power of the pause. What was once magnetic becomes too much. Want an example? You cancel a date and feel the need to send a long message explaining why. But all it really takes is, today won't work, but thank you for the invite. Simple, elegant, clear. Or in a disagreement, you find yourself spiraling into emotional justifications just so you won't come off as cold, rude, selfish. When really, you're just trying to protect yourself. And guess what? You can protect yourself without apologizing for it. A magnetic woman says less and has more impact. She chooses her words the way she chooses jewelry, with intention. And the best part? This doesn't push people away. It attracts the right ones. Because when you respect your own space, you teach others to do the same. So the next time you feel that pull to over-explain, pause and ask yourself, am I being honest? Or am I looking for approval? What you need is to be real. Not perfect, not approved, just real. In truth, spoken with calm confidence, is magnetic. Mistake number 2. Trying to be likable all the time. This one seems harmless. I mean, who doesn't want to be liked? Who doesn't enjoy being accepted? But here's a hard truth. The more you try to be likable, the less you're respected. The woman who's always smiling, always saying yes, always swallowing her discomfort so she won't seem difficult, she's not admired. She's convenient. And being convenient is the exact opposite of being magnetic. Magnetic women aren't out here trying to please everyone. They can be pleasant, of course, when they want to be, but they don't shape their words, their clothes, their decisions, or their behavior just to make sure no one feels uncomfortable around them. You know why? Because they understand not everyone's going to like them, and they're completely fine with that. You're not here to be everyone's favorite. You're here to be whole. And being whole means having opinions, boundaries, preferences, quiet moments, strong phases, soft ones too. When you force yourself to always be nice, easygoing, and smiley, you're sending out an unconscious message. Please accept me. And that energy, no matter how subtle, is felt. The result? You become predictable, expected, and sometimes even manipulative. Ever notice how some people only reach out when they need something? Or how you swallow your feelings just to keep the peace? That kind of behavior slowly drains your power, and bit by bit you fade. But a magnetic woman, she's not afraid to upset people. She's kind, but she's got thorns. She knows her sweetness is a choice, not an obligation. She doesn't shrink herself to fit in anyone's emotional pocket. And the most beautiful part? That's exactly why she attracts the right people. People who value her, who respect her no, who aren't scared of her strength, who love her presence, not just her usefulness. Being magnetic isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself, even if it ruffles some feathers. So next time you catch yourself trying to please everyone, take a breath and ask, am I being kind or am I erasing myself? Magnetic women don't live chasing approval. They live in peace with their truth. And that, my dear, is far more enchanting than any fake smile. Mistake number 3, slouched posture and rushed movements. Have you ever stopped to notice how you walk down the street? Or how you enter a new space? Do you walk with your shoulders relaxed or tense? Is your chin up? Or are you looking down, almost as if you're apologizing for existing? The way you walk, the way you move, the way you inhabit your body, it speaks long before your mouth does. And nothing destroys feminine magnetism faster than body language that's constantly saying, sorry. The hunched shoulders, the quick short steps, that automatic reflex of shrinking yourself in crowded places, or clutching your bag tight to your chest, like you wish you could disappear. All of that sends a message. I don't want to be seen. But here's the thing. You can't be magnetic if you're trying to be invisible. Magnetic women take up space, naturally. They're not in a rush. They don't shrink themselves. They walk into a room with the quiet certainty that they belong, without needing to ask for permission with their bodies. Want to look more confident instantly? Lift your chin. Relax your shoulders. Lengthen your posture like there's an invisible string pulling you gently from the top of your head. Now, slow down. Walk with firm, intentional steps. No frantic rushing. No speeding up to prove you're efficient, helpful, or on it. A magnetic woman doesn't rush to be seen. She gets noticed precisely because she doesn't rush. And your gestures? Watch your hands. Are you constantly fidgeting, touching your face, wrapping your arms around yourself? Or are your movements calm, graceful, precise? Pause is power. And the woman who owns the rhythm of her body sends a message that's rare these days. Self-possession. It's not about looking perfect. It's about looking present, right here, right now. Aware of your body, your energy, and the space you're taking up. Magnetic women don't hide. They reveal themselves slowly, deliberately. Mistake number 4, talking too much, especially about yourself. There's this common misconception that, to be interesting, you have to be the center of the conversation. To talk a lot, share everything, keep the spotlight on you. But actually, it's the opposite. Feminine magnetism lives in the space you leave, not in how much you fill. A magnetic woman doesn't spill everything at once. She doesn't rush to explain herself. She doesn't unload her entire life story over the first coffee. And she definitely doesn't turn every conversation into a monologue about herself. You know why? Because she doesn't need constant validation. She knows that the more you talk, the more you give away. And the more you give away, the less people lean in. It's not about playing games. It's about having emotional control over your words. A magnetic woman knows when to speak and when to stay quiet. She feels the rhythm of the conversation. She listens. And when she does speak, every word carries weight, pause, and intention. Have you noticed how rare it is to feel truly heard these days? That's why when you become that person, the one who listens with presence, you become unforgettable. And more than that, when you listen, you read the other person. You understand how they think, how they feel, how they show up. And only then do you decide what's actually worth sharing. A woman who talks too much, especially about herself, often carries the energy of someone trying to prove her worth. But a woman who speaks only what's essential, with clarity and intention, radiates something far more powerful: confidence. And there is so much beauty and mystery in what's not said right away, and what lingers in the air like a subtle fragrance. That's what holds attention. That's what sparks curiosity. That's what gives depth. So next time you enter a conversation, remember, you don't need to show up like a walking resume. You don't have to spill your entire life to seem trustworthy. True confidence comes from well-placed silence, from words chosen with emotional intelligence. A magnetic woman speaks less and captivates more. Mistake number 5, abandoning yourself internally to appear strong on the outside. This is the quietest mistake, and also the most dangerous. Society loves to applaud women who handle everything, who keep smiling even when they're exhausted, who keep producing, solving, taking care of everyone, even when they're completely drained inside. We're taught from a young age that strength means not feeling, to hold back the tears, to keep going even when we have nothing left, to never show weakness. But let me tell you something. That kind of strength, the one that comes from disconnecting from yourself, isn't strength. It's survival. And a woman stuck in survival mode doesn't have the energy to shine. She wakes up on autopilot. She disconnects from her emotions. She shuts down her intuition. She stops hearing herself. And the cruelest part? She starts to believe that this is normal. But a magnetic woman doesn't just survive, she lives. She knows that a strong presence doesn't mean being hard. She understands that healed vulnerability is refined emotional power. She doesn't hide her emotions, she understands them. She doesn't suppress her exhaustion, she honors it. She doesn't fake being fine, she tells herself the truth and chooses what to do with it. Because real strength is having the courage to look at yourself with honesty and say, I'm overwhelmed and I'm not ignoring myself anymore. I deserve rest. I'm not less powerful for needing help. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. A woman who abandons herself to keep up the image of strength ends up losing the best parts of life: lightness, authenticity, connection. But the woman who takes care of her inner world, who respects her emotional, hormonal, and spiritual limits, that woman shines with something rare. She commands respect without raising her voice. She inspires without trying. She radiates presence because she's deeply connected to herself. So if you've been feeling tired, emotionally numb, like you need to stay in control to be worthy, stop. Come back to yourself. Your magnetism doesn't come from tension. It comes from conscious emotional self-care. A magnetic woman doesn't erase herself to look strong. She's strong because she chooses herself every single day. You see, feminine magnetism isn't some magical gift or something you're just born with. It's built, nurtured, and preserved in every little detail. From the way you choose your words, to how you carry your body, to how you relate to yourself and others. Avoiding these 5 mistakes is an invitation to reclaim your true light. That light that doesn't depend on anyone's approval or masks. A light that comes from your self-respect, self-love, and awareness. But remember, this doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of self-discovery, practice, and most of all, kindness to yourself. Look closely at where you might be giving in too much. Notice which habits you can change to honor your inner space more, and celebrate every little win along the way. If you dug this content and want to keep growing on this path, don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment. I really want to know which of these mistakes spoke to you the most. And if you want, I can bring you more content to help you build your magnetism in every part of your life. Because a magnetic woman isn't just someone who turns heads. She's someone who knows who she is and lives that truth as her greatest power. And to wrap it up, always remember, a woman who respects herself doesn't beg for attention. She radiates presence. Catch you in the next video, Queen. Your magnetism is just getting started.